So welcome everyone to a new episode.
Local flavors.
Yeah, of local flavors. You know, local flavors, man. We've been working. So you have a new topic today. So basically, it's farm to fork.
Yeah,
Very interesting one. So I would like to welcome everyone in the show, our audience. Firstly, Musa Wenkosi, and we have Breezy today. Yeah, as you all know, I'm that guy. The man that needs no introduction, guys. So this topic really got me hyped up, guys. Farm to fork again. For viewers that are not aware, basically farm to fork is like the whole food chain. So like how food necessarily goes from the producer, like the whole agricultural processes and how it ends up in our tables as us, the consumers, the people that eat the food. So basically we're gonna talk about how food travels basically in a way, and how food going from the people that produces to us as the consumers. So basically its implications, especially like its societal implications, its economic implications, what is being done basically, and what it is. So let's just dive in. So Breezy, what can you necessarily tell me about the whole negative implications and what is farm to fork? What is it? What is the movement? What inspired the movement? What caused it?
Okay. Apparently, all of this farm to fork theory thingy type, or it started back after the World War II. So remember the World War II?
Yeah.
That's when the government or the world decided to increase their agricultural industries. They wanted to increase them. The more the agricultural industries, the more the supply chains. So now they have much larger supply chains. That's why you can buy stuff online, export, import, all of that. You have access to other things in Australia.
Surplus food.
Surplus food. Basically.
So basically, what you're saying is that they started the whole thing necessarily to increase food exposure, to address maybe things like not having certain foods in certain areas because so that's how it starts.
Seasonal
food.
Seasonal food. You notice now, even if it's winter, you still get apples, you still get apricots,
because it's imported.
It's imported.
That's how it started.
That's how all of this
started. It was inspired by having to address those things, because if I want to have an apple throughout the year or an orange, I cannot wait up until the following year to have it in that specific season. Okay.
That's basically how the whole farm to fork thing already started.
So when I was checking up about it, basically they said that basically it's the whole movement. It's necessarily started to address now the challenges, like the agricultural challenges and the degradation and the negative implications that food, like the whole travel of food going from the people that produce it to us, the consumers. So basically it was a thing of they want to reduce the whole implications, the negative implications that come with those things. So is there anything you can tell me about it, like with regards to farm to fork? Maybe it's degradation, like in society, its economic impact, and environment and all of that.
Firstly, the farm to fork is defined by the 3 pillars of sustainability, the economic one, environmental, and social. Later on, we must talk about it has a lot of negative effects and more positive though.
I heard that in terms of benefiting, it benefits the farmers.
In terms of economic.
Economic.
In economic. We're talking about the economic part. Is that I read up that although it's beneficial towards an extent, because with farmers they get to eliminate the middleman. So basically, food gets to go from them to straightly to the people that consume it. Let's say instead of getting it from here to here, it just goes straight to the retailers and they get to make a whole lot of money. It's very beneficial for them. But also the most important thing here is that how it affects certain people of specific income brackets, because they might not afford the food, because maybe it might be more expensive, especially with locally produced food or food that is imported internationally, because food that is imported internationally, we might not have it here. It goes back to the whole thing of supply and demand. We import the food now. Of course, when it gets here, it's going to be more expensive now because we're buying into foreign currencies, and people here cannot necessarily afford the food. which now can cause a whole image of elitism because like, oh, you can't eat that because that's for a specific people or specific food group that is eaten by specific people of a specific class. So yeah, like the economic impacts as well. It's a very troubling thing because now it might necessarily look like it's beneficial. Yes, it's beneficial towards an extent, but then like it gets to the people with more money and it hinders the environment. Going back, we're going to talk about the environment
the
now.
people that are benefiting, you know, those ones who have businesses like restaurants and stuff, all those things. So those ones, they benefit.
They benefit,
in
they
terms of
benefit.
the economy.
But then me, I still
Because-
think it's more beneficial in the economy stuff. You know, if the farmers, you know, if these things they don't travel a lot, it means that the companies can just go straight to local farmers.
Consumers.
Yeah. You know, and then straight to consumer. It's still here. It's like it saves.
Yeah,
it saves
money
the distance. It saves
and
money,
food
petrol,
mileage,
and all of that.
And-
They're gonna get it for a lesser price, and because it didn't go
As much
as
as it
much
does,
as it
yes.
does.
So that's
it's
the
gonna
goal.
be
So that's the goal of
it's gonna
Farm
be
to Fork.
less expensive. Less expensive for consumers, less expensive for the company, and less expensive for the farmers. Cause now the Farm to Fork it strictly addresses the farming systems that are more ecological. You know, meaning if it's ecological, it means that they use kind of what you call this thing. They use only the traditional measures. They use only traditional measures too. Like they don't use pesticides, they don't use chemicals. They just use
which might cause
organic stuff.
segregation. More sustainable.
They are more sustainable.
So the goal basically here with the whole vision of Farm to Fork is to be more sustainable.
More
in terms of
sustainable
means
side,
of production,
yes.
because like also so that we have a future with regards to like our agricultural processes, but also part of its goal is that like we are producing more sustainably, but also in doing that we need to reduce also the environmental impacts that might cause us to produce more sustainably. Like for example, the whole thing of we do more organic to reduce like soil degradation and all of that, and also we invest more on locally sourced food because like now there's less food mileage, right? That's the term. Fact checker, can you please?
And
verify
it
it's
can
food
even benefit the
mileage?
environment too. The less food miles, because less emissions, less carbon footprint. You know, it's a whole wide thing. It's a whole wide topic to talk about.
It's basically more than like just like the whole bridging that gap between the consumer and the producer.
Yeah.
So the primary objective is to necessarily reduce, but also is to maintain sustainability and achieve sustainability where it lacks. Because like now, let's say like as you were talking about seasonal things, like so necessarily instead of like getting a country that is less further than us, let's say like, for example, we were sourcing the oranges from the UAE. Now we probably get it from a country like Australia if they do have them for that specific season. So like it would reduce the whole thing of food mileage, which like less emissions, as you said, to be more sustainable. So I don't know, can you like fact check like with the existing environmental impacts, like in terms of like the environment, what are what can you say, or do you know necessarily about the impacts in terms of like the environment as is, like the whole the negative implications of the whole Food to Fork before the movement, basically what inspired the movement? So what are the negative impacts besides like climate change and all of that? What are the other implications that you're aware of? Can you please just double check there? Breezy, can you just like any information you can share in that, like just
based on those 3 pillars of sustainability, I get it, we're talking about the environmental impact. So it has a benefit actually. The most obvious one is the reduced carbon footprint. Sorry. So from the less transport, as Breeze was saying. So when food travels less, it uses less and produces fewer emissions.
So basically it's a thing of, with the movement now in play, that's what's being achieved now necessarily, because like okay, we are trying to be more sustainable, right? So we're sourcing more locally. So now we're just reducing the whole food mileage or thing. But then like also I want to dive in about the impacts basically, in a way. Okay, like there's the movement now, the farm to fork movement now, but then prior to the movement being there, what was causing the need for the movement?
Yeah, basically I would say it's about, firstly is the farmers, they were not educated enough to know about how to farm and how to how to be sustainable. Yeah, because sustainability didn't exist like that. Other people were just doing what they were taught. But then they didn't necessarily know how to use pesticides, other chemicals, how to preserve the soil.
So basically there was overuse of everything.
Overuse of everything.
People were focused more on large scale production rather than being sustainable. Like for example, they'd be like, oh, I have like 100 hectares, so in this 100 hectares I should produce this amount of food, but they didn't really think that in 10 years time that soil is going to be useless now.
There's this thing again of farmers. It usually happens to farmers that they plant the same crop over and over again on the same soil.
Is that bad? Is that bad?
It's bad. It's bad for the soil.
It's just some light in that.
Because you need
if it's like that, they must rotate. Crop rotation. Because if you keep planting the same thing, the nutrients that needs is gonna be sucked out. Every time it gets the same nutrients, so there's no like a rotation of different nutrients being sucked out, being implemented and stuff. You get me? Imagine now you're drinking Coca-Cola, only Coca-Cola in this cup. Each and every time you go by there, you just drink the Coke. You don't drink the other ones, you just drink the Coke. At least if there's Sprite, Coke, Fanta and everything, you can drink once, come back, drink this other one, this time I drink this other one, you don't drink the same one.
So basically it started, the movement got inspired by the ignorance that was there within the food systems and the whole supply chain as well. Because also what is your take with the whole thing of overnight shifting, like easy deliveries? Because I feel like even if I wanted, like, I don't know, like companies, if I wanted to source maybe like, I don't know, GMO chickens or whatever from Brazil now, I'd probably get it from like within a week now. Back in the days it would probably take like 3 months, but now it's in a week. Like do you feel like also those things like had something in play, like because like those overnight express, like I feel like there were more emissions with that, although it was more sustainable in a way, not necessarily sustainable but more efficient, that's the word I'm looking for. It was more efficient, but then also there were more environmental impacts, because now let's say they were gonna wait, it was gonna be one ship that travels from Brazil to South Africa every 3 months. Now it's just like there's like a whole traffic.
In that sense it can hurt the environment, more carbon emissions, the ozone layer degrading, all of that. So it still has I would say a positive impact, but people are more concerned about the GMOs and stuff like that, so people don't really trust them. They're a bit skeptical about it. Eating GMO stuff, fruits that are GMOs that are larger, but then it's sustainable because it addresses food security, and it's more of a sense of addressing food security, so people can get more for the lesser price.
Okay. So basically producing sustainably but also trying to maintain the price range, going back to the whole economic impact. So how do you think societies are now receiving this whole movement of locally sourcing? How are businesses necessarily perceiving this whole thing? Because I feel like also there's political factors that take play. Like for example, if we had like a trade agreement with a country like Brazil, maybe we might source the food at a certain price and all of that. Of course, it's going to be good for both economies. So now if the government's now move to more locally sourced food. But what does that mean for our country? What does that entail for our communities?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get into, since you mentioned the society. It also include what is this, the health perspective. The more the shorter supply, the more the food is fresh and harvested and at its peak and the ripeness. Yeah.
So basically, the community benefits in a way. It's the community.
If it's
The community
shorter.
is happy. Because like if the food travels less, it gets to the people more nutritious.
Fresh.
It's
Yeah,
more
it's
fresher,
more fresh,
more
yeah.
healthy. None of that like
Because,
long-term
yeah,
storage and
you get me?
preservation.
And also the small scale farmers, they benefit. And
Also,
then if
yeah,
they get more
yeah.
business because of that, you know.
So what
Yeah.
about the policies then? What does that mean for like third world countries like us in terms of like policies and
Yeah,
trade agreements?
you know what I think?
Mm.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, there should be a law or something.
Mm.
There should be maybe a law of
invest more in laws.
small laws, you know,
Mm.
for people doing agriculture or something, you know, like they must be taught how all of this how to be sustainable. They must be taught how to farm sustainably, you know, and
So-
make profit out of it, you know.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying, there should be laws that should be
Yeah,
imposed to
yeah,
farmers
yeah,
as guidelines.
there
to
should
more
be
sustainable.
education, yeah.
To be more sustainable.
You know,
Okay. Yeah. Just more
host
sustainably.
more workshops, you know, get you know, an extension is to visit a while in a while to advise the local farmers how to produce more. You get me?
Yeah.
There should be stuff like that in this country. Yeah, it's really.
I just got source intel from one of our fact checkers. So basically, there is apparently like policies and all of that organizations that make sure.
Which one?
Like organizations that make sure that there's like policies in place that the farmers shouldn't overgraze, like all of that.
Yeah.
But then the thing is that like this, everything can be bypassed. At the end of the day, the businesses like they wanna oversee certain policies because now they wanna make money, and the government hasn't really necessarily been enforcing those laws so much. But I feel like now, since like there's movements like the whole farm to fork movement, and necessarily like the government and the other private organizations are really shedding light on the implementations of the whole thing. Because as much as it might be nice to eat, I don't know, fresh food from China or whatever country, but at the end of the day, it's hurting our environment. Like you see, it's hurting our environment. So so we really appreciate the whole people being woke and actually taking time to really appreciate and note all these things, because it's a huge thing. It's a really huge and troublesome thing, because like I feel like most people are not aware actually the amount of time and traveling that food, like the whole procedure actually in which it's like people just see food at the store and they see food at the store and they're like, okay, it's food. They don't know there's like a lot of implications behind those things. So yeah, man, it's a really troubling thing, man. So guys, would you like to share any more information with regards to the thing before we close off the episode now, because we're running on time?
In terms of the future of the farm to scale, it says that we will likely to see more businesses when it comes to farm to scales. Those business opportunities in technology, online platforms and those apps to connect to the consumers, all those things. So I hear that you telling us about the traveling of food from China to maybe import, in terms of importing food here, but it says that in future it's gonna be like more business stuff like that. Technology will take over.
So in a sense that there will be more companies that are doing that, or there will be more companies that are trying to reduce the steps. Like for example, now the whole goal was to now sort of like, since there's a lot of implications and negative effects with food traveling long, food mileage and all of that, and then the environmental factors and all of that. So like, are you saying that now there will be more businesses that are like trying to lessen the gap to be more connected to the consumer. Because, for example, maybe food, although it travels from China because we need it from China, but it was gonna go from China to Brazil, then to Brazil to Australia to us. So basically now it'll go like from China straight to us. Oh, so yeah, like that's also
But
like
the
maintaining
problem
the
with that is
sustainability.
that those, you know, like most of the people, they weren't able to afford those kind of food, since there are those who were able to reach those fresher foods and nutritional foods.
So basically,
and all those things.
What I've produced here is that like with this whole movement and the whole how it started, there's pros and cons because like as much as we might be breaching the gap, food is getting more
the pros and
expensive.
cons actually.
Yeah, there's pros and
Low-income
cons.
You know why they're
families, they
getting
want
expensive?
benefits,
You know why they're getting expensive? Food is getting expensive because it's all processed food, bro. You know, all that processing
Growing
process.
population.
You know, like
yeah.
they want the food to last longer shelf lives and stuff like that. That's why they're getting expensive.
yeah.
If you want the perishable stuff that doesn't last, like meat or whatever, you know, yeah, it's less expensive. But then if you're gonna get a canned beef, obviously it's gonna be expensive because it can last longer. Or the milk, pasteurized milk, lasts longer. If the milk wasn't pasteurized, it's like fresh milk from a cow. It wouldn't be that expensive, you know. It's how it goes.
So basically, the food industry has much in play here as well.
Yeah.
So basically, besides just the agricultural part, the food industry and its demands necessarily enforces the whole play of agriculture and how food is handled
How
basically
food is
within
handled,
the food chain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very interesting thing.
Yeah,
it's a very
you know, consumers demand a lot of things, man.
Yeah, because
and-
at the same time, some people want it ripened, some people want it fresh, some people want it
you
now.
know,
they
the
want to
food
wait.
industry, whenever the consumer wants something, they will provide. Yo,
It's all about making money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But then it's profit
But
driven.
then now I can see a lot of movement about being green, you know, being sustainable. Moving to that side, yeah. There's like biodegradable packaging right now. There's like biodegradable
there's a lot of
straws.
yeah.
There's a lot of even the restaurants are pushing, you know. Even
sustainability.
the retailers, you know, everybody's pushing. They're moving towards the sustainable. People are more aware.
Aware now, yes, because
Yeah.
I feel like it's also because of these movements, like the whole farm to fork, you know. So it's like it's going green, guys. Basically, making sure we're more sustainable because I mean the planet is still going to be around. I mean, like, so we can't just like cook whatever or type out whatever resources we have now, like just to satisfy our needs. What about the needs of like 5 generations from now? I mean. So yeah, it's very, very like guys, it was a very like interesting topic to talk about it. Also, thank you all for coming to the show. Yeah, and all of that. So yeah. So like, please, contact us to our viewers. Contact us through our social media and all of that. Get in touch with us if you need more information with regards to the things. Also, we can send you some goals, the blueprints with this whole movement thing. I mean, only have like a time like within an episode, so we can't really dive in and go that far. And
we
all
would
of
love
that.
to talk more about it.
Yeah, so yeah, just contact us through our social media and all of that. Yeah, local flavors, man. We're here to deliver. Yeah, all of that. That's what we do, man. Yes, thank you.
You must go green, man. Go green.
Go green. Yeah, thank you.